Connect with your potential customers wherever they are. Effective uses Comcast viewership data insights to combine advanced targeting capabilities with premium TV and streaming content, so you can deliver the best ad experiences to your audience no matter how they watch. Visit EFFECTV.com.
Hello world, you're listening to Strategikon, your window to all things security and foreign affairs. To all our listeners, I would like to extend warmest Christmas wishes and a happy 2019 from myself, John Bruni, and the team at Sage International Australia. 2018 has been a busy year for us. It certainly had its highs and its lows. But importantly, SIA and our podcast Strategikon is growing in reach, capability and audience, and we anticipate 2019 to be a year of great expansion across the board. My thanks to the tireless efforts and generosity of the following people: SIA Chairman of the Advisory Board, Commodore Patrick J. Tyrrell, OBE, Royal Navy Retired; to SIA Advisory Board members Dr. Jonathan Z. Ludwig, Dr. Imad K. Harb, Professor Punendra C. Jain, and Dr. Huda Al-Nuami. On the podcasting front, a special thanks to our resident existentialist philosopher David J. Olney and to our former research assistant Ms. Shahrazad Gairat. Also to our guests who joined our show, Professor Albert Wolf, Professor Julian Lindley French, Professor R. Evan Ellis, Colonel Sandy Wade, OBE Retired, and Ostability's David Kandan. Your time with us unpacking global events was greatly appreciated. In 2018, Strategikon covered a range of topics including the rise of Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia, Jerusalem as Israel's undivided capital, the topic that just never seems to go away, Donald J. Trump, the Skripal poisoning in the UK, the People's Republic of China in Latin America, North Korea, Kurdish aspirations, Israel versus Iran, Afghanistan, the outbreak of peace between Ethiopia and Eritrea, the problems besetting Venezuela, and Russian military maneuvers. SIA met a number of milestones in 2018. In November, we quietly celebrated our 10th year in operation. Unfortunately, due to work commitments, we could not do anything too public about this. However, come year 11, we hope to acknowledge this milestone in a manner befitting our vintage as South Australia's only private, not-for-profit geopolitical think tank. One of our most significant milestones was our collaboration with UK-based international defence exhibition company Maritime Air Systems and Technologies, where Commodore Tyrrell and I developed and delivered the advanced workshop on disruptive technology in the maritime domain. This event was supported by MAST in May of this year and held at the imposing Guildhall in Portsmouth, UK. Following this event, and at breakneck speed, Commodore Tyrrell and I wrote a white paper critically examining the papers that were presented at the workshop by some of Britain's and the world's best thinkers on disruptive technology. Having only recently returned from MAST India, where Commodore Tyrrell and I gave a summary of the Portsmouth Advanced Workshop, and where a copy of our white paper was presented to the Indian Navy for consideration, we are now negotiating with the Royal Danish Navy to develop and deliver our second Advanced Workshop in Copenhagen in September 2019, with a second white paper to be commissioned for the Royal Danish Navy as well. Turning our attention to another part of the world and another theatre of operations, while on a recent trip to Canberra, I was fortunate enough to have an audience with Her Excellency Tearful Gebrhiwet, Ethiopia's ambassador to Australia. Our discussions were broad-ranging and included how SIA could assist in facilitating Ethiopia's development, attracting technical skills from South Australia to Ethiopia on a subnational basis, as well as coming up with new strategies to widen Australia's and the West's commercial interest in Ethiopia as a place to invest in. As you may well have heard in our Strategikon podcasts with Colonel Sandy Wade and David Kandan, Ethiopia is no longer the Band-Aid country of the 1980s. Now, under the stewardship of an ambitious political elite eager to consolidate the country's infant democracy, Ethiopia is a country replete with commercial opportunity. Also, in the latter part of this year, Commodore Tyrrell represented SIA in Halifax, Canada at OPTEC North, a symposium designed to look at cold water naval operations. This one act has assisted SIA in keeping our foot in the door of naval operations more broadly, an area that we will seek to continue to expand into. A logical step, considering that South Australia is the heart of Australia's ship and submarine building industries. And finally, on a personal note, in the midst of all this positivity, I lost my mother to cancer. Mrs. Renata Bruni nie Stadelmeier was not just my mother, but my Svengali, as well as SIA's stalwart chief content editor. I still keenly feel her loss every day. But Mum, being the stoic that she was, would not have wanted me to simply collapse in grief and drop everything. SIA was our project, our family business. I honour her memory by forging ahead with SIA, a project she loved and believed in as much as I. Strategikon will be back in February, and new material for the SIA website will start going up by mid-January. Roll on 2019, and until next year, it's goodbye from me, John Bruni.
Connect with your potential customers wherever they are. Effective uses Comcast viewership data insights to combine advanced targeting capabilities with premium TV and streaming content, so you can deliver the best ad experiences to your audience no matter how they watch. Visit EFFECTV.com.